What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm getting ready to go back on the road here in a little bit. Um, Anybody who's been following my channel probably say, "Oh, you said you're never gonna do it again." Well, guess what? Shit changes. Um, and money talks. That's all I'm gonna say is money talks, bro. Uh, anyway, the reason why I was making this video is how to prepare for CDL school, because I keep seeing these stupid ads that come across my phone about CDL schools and get your CDL in 3 or 4 weeks. And that scares me. After knowing what I know now, after been driving all this time, it scares me that they can hand you a CDL in 4 weeks, because there's so many things they haven't taught you. If you want to prepare for CDL school, I mean, the only way, the things I wish I had known, or I wish, or should I say, the things I wish the instructors had really taught me. Because once you get out there on the road and you start learning and making mistakes, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, they didn't teach me none of this shit. You're going to realize that 95% of these schools don't give a fuck about you. They just want to push you out the door and get paid. That's all they want to do. They want to teach you the bare minimum amount of knowledge they need to teach you by law to get you in that truck, or to get you at a CDL, so that they can get paid, so they can get you on the road. If you really want to prepare for CDL school, maybe truckers already. Maybe you already know some career truckers. Maybe your dad or your grandpa is a trucker and he's been trucking for 20-something years. Ask them these questions. You're like, what do you wish they taught you, or what are some things that you guarantee they're not going to teach me? And then the things they tell you. All right, I'll tell you one really simple thing. They're probably not going to teach you about the two gears in the crank pulley for the trailer. They're probably not going to teach you about that first gear, which is really the reason why that gear is there is for when the trailer is so ridiculously heavy you can't crank it up. And that's just one little example of things I guarantee they're not going to teach you. So if you could learn things like that and then ask the right questions at the school and stump the instructor, it'll be hilarious. You're going to be that guy that sticks out from the whole crowd. Like, why are you asking these questions? Because they're not expecting it. I guarantee you they're not expecting it. So that, if I could go back in time and prepare like that, I think that would have been so just entertaining on my part, because I'm telling you, there's so many things they're not going to teach you about just hooking up a trailer. Because I tell you, when I went through school, they didn't even have us hook up a trailer, which I thought was crazy. Yeah, we had to back up trailers, do 90s and shit like that, and we didn't even have to do parallel parking, which that doesn't really matter because it's so rare that you're ever even going to do a parallel park anyway. I've probably done one 5 times in my whole career. I mean, there's just, it's so rare that you even need to, But yeah, try to look around, try to do a little bit of research, and don't assume that your instructor is really knows what he's talking about. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just saying don't assume that he's some big genius, right? So do your own research, and don't just walk in there assuming that everything's going to be okay. And don't panic about the backing. Don't panic. Everybody panics about that. Backing is not something you can learn in just a week or a couple of days. It's not. It takes so much time and experience. It takes, it's like, who was it? Bruce Lee that said something like, you got to do something 10,000 times to be an expert or something like that. I can back up really well now. And I didn't suffer too much when I was doing my backing test, but I was still very nervous when I did it. I tell you what was the hardest one was the offset. But really, it's just about remembering right is left and left is right, and you'll learn that. And you got to remember that when you turn the wheel, you got to give the trailer a second to catch up. So you're gonna see those guys in your class that they can't get it. They're just playing guessing games. They're just turning the wheel all over the place. They have no clue what they're doing. And it's entertaining to watch, but it's also really aggravating to watch people that try to do this, and it's so hard for them to learn and to catch on what the instructor's trying to teach them. It's hard for them to pick up on what they were trying to tell you, you know? So anyway, when you go to CDL school, don't panic about everything. It's not, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it right away. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of, if you go look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, if I just get some more time, I can safely get out there on the road and learn this. Then that's the most important thing. If you really know in your heart that you can get out there and safely operate that truck the day that you get your CDL, then you'll be okay, you know. But don't panic if you don't pick up on things right away. It's not a big deal, man. I'm telling you, experience is what's gonna make you better. You just got to get out there and do it. That's all it is. And don't be afraid to ask for help. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.